Good afternoon, Dunkirk and Fredonia listeners, and welcome back to the first show of the semester of News at Noon. News at Noon is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. I'm News Director Lee Pye here today with my assistants, Sara Lodespoto, Izzie Inzinna, Joshua Ribakove, as well as Hunter Halterman, Chloe Kowalyk, and Sports Director Matt Volz. With this top of the hour update, we'll bring you the latest on SUNY Fredonia's campus news and events, sports, weather, and music, as well as national and international news. First up, let's go to the event bulletin for this week. The Semesterly Activities Night is happening today. All of the clubs you can sign up for will be in Steele Hall from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Fredonia Radio Systems is taking over the ice rink for their annual Rock and Skate fundraising event. There will be raffles, activities, food, as well as being able to skate on ice. The Legacy Show High Noon Friday is celebrating its 40th year anniversary by having an 80s theme for the event. Get all groovy on the ice rink in Steele Hall on February 23rd from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's it for the information through the grapevine. Next up, we'll bring it to our latest campus news updates. Last semester, during the last week of classes, Fredonia President Stephen Collison held a meeting to present programs that the administration was proposing to remove from the curriculum. These programs include BA Visual Arts and New Media, Art History, BA French Adolescence Education, BS Industrial Management, BS Mathematics Middle Childhood Specialists, grades 5 through 9, BA Philosophy, BA Sociology, BA Spanish Adolescence Education, BA Visual Arts and New Media Ceramics, BFA Visual Arts and New Media Photography, BFA Visual Arts and New Media Sculpture, and BSED Early Childhood Education, birth through second grade. The president made it clear that the students who are enrolled in these majors will be able to finish their degree and successfully graduate, but no new students will be accepted into these programs. Many things stemmed from Collison's speech, including multiple meetings for students and staff, not hosted by Collison, to discuss everyone's thoughts and concerns. A student-run protest was held the day after Collison's speech, as well as an organization called Students for Fredonia was created by the students who curated the protest. On December 19th, during the campus winter break, a policy draft proposal was sent out on behalf of the policy office. The proposal is titled, quote, Public Forum and Third-Party Event Policy, end quote, which includes vague language that may undermine the ability to demonstrate and protest on campus. The proposal reads, quote, SUNY Fredonia reserves the right to determine the appropriate time, place, and location for all demonstrations. The use of the designated public forum may be requested during the week, Monday through Friday, for up to a 4-hour period between the hours of 8 a.m. and to 4:30 p.m. during the academic year. The university designates the following locations for public forums: the area around the clock tower and Dodds Hall Grove picnic area, end quote. It would also require a 2-week notification of any planned outdoor event, including protests or demonstrations organized by student organizations, academic departments, faculty, and staff, and must be completed in a form to the Office of Campus Life with various signatures required. The language in the policy is vague and is confused if it's directed towards the third-party persons or if it's actually towards the students and staff on campus. The United University Professions, UUP, successfully advocated for the $163 million for SUNY colleges. However, Fredonia only received $2.8 million from the SUNY Chancellor and the Board of Trustees. Stated by the administration, Fredonia is currently facing a budget deficit of $8 to $17 million, and along with 18 other struggling SUNY campuses, the distribution of the $163 million was unproportionate to the needs of the struggling SUNY schools, including Fredonia. The Students for Fredonia group is taking a trip to Albany on February 13th, sponsored by the United University Professions, UUP, to meet with the higher ed legislators and tell them to fund Fredonia. More updates on this will come. That's it for campus news. Now let's send it to Izzie for local news.
Thanks, Lee. Dozens of whipped cream cans were found spread along Route 62 from New York to Pennsylvania, sparking talk about what they were being used for. It's suspected that they were used for the nitrous oxide, which is an odorless, colorless, non-flammable gas. Huffing the cans are known as whippets, and participants usually experience dizziness, drowsiness, slurred speech, slowed reflexes, and general muscle weakness. A reminder to everyone not to participate in this, and if you do, make sure you are not behind the wheel. New York State is setting aside $4.5 million to continue the momentum seen recently in the village of Gowanda. As part of Governor Kathy Hochul's budget investments in Western New York, Gowanda won funding in an announcement Friday. Hochul said, quote, "These investments will help to revitalize our beautiful downtowns, create jobs to support the local economy, and provide New Yorkers with more opportunities and options for a fulfilling life ahead," end quote. The city of Tonawanda was announced as the recipient of $10 million in funding as the Western New York winner of the 7th round of the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. The town of Aurora and Hamlet of West Falls are this year's Western New York region other New York Forward winners. They also receive $4.5 million each. The governor also announced that the University at Buffalo has been selected to host Empire AI, a state-of-the-art artificial intelligence center. Additionally, Hochul announced that $50 million in one-time federal temporary assistance for needy families, funding to support locally driven anti-poverty initiatives, including $12.25 million to Buffalo. Building on the budget, the governor organized one network for regional advanced partnerships to create workplace development centers in 4 high-impact locations across upstate New York. Lastly, Hochul announced $4 million in funding to the Roswell Park Cancer Institute to finance new mobile breast and prostate cancer screening vans and expand screening activities. That's all for your local news update. Let's take it to the sports guy, Matt Volz.
Thanks, Izzie, and good afternoon, everybody. Fredonia's women's basketball team pulled off a major upset last night, taking down Geneseo 61-56. The Blue Devils recorded 27 points off their bench, including 15 points from sophomore guard Sara. Geneseo entered the game in second place in the SUNYAC at 15-4, and the Blue Devils ended the night's 9-game win streak. Fredonia's record improves to 9-10 with the win, and they'll be back at home Saturday to face Buff State at 2 p.m. Fredonia's men's basketball team kept it close with Geneseo for much of the game last night, but the Knights pulled away late to win 73-60. Malik Jemison led the way for Fredonia with 24 points. The Blue Devils have now lost 9 straight, but they have the opportunity to get back in the win column on Saturday as they host winless Buff State at 4 p.m. The Blue Devils men's and women's swimming and diving teams hosted Brockport in their first SUNYAC meet of the season this past weekend. The men's team fell 179-63, but sophomore Alex Wright had a solid showing, winning the 1,000-yard freestyle and finishing top 3 in 2 other events. Junior Patrick McCrone also took first in 3 different events, while junior Noah Wisniewski won the 100-yard breaststroke and finished second in the 100-yard butterfly. The women's team also fell by a score of 228-57, but Cleo McDermott, Kaylee Constantino, and Haley Thompson each finished top 3 in multiple events, with the freshman Thompson setting a personal best in the 200-yard backstroke. The women's team record currently sits at 1-4, while the men's team is 0-5. Both teams will be at home tomorrow as they face Jamestown Community College. And Fredonia's indoor track and field teams were in Utica this past weekend. 2 different members of the women's team recorded personal bests as the team finished in 15th place. The men's team saw 2 different athletes record personal bests, and Sembel Koshi ran a season-best 4-minute, 39-second mile. The men's team placed 4th out of 17 teams, and both teams will be headed to Rochester to face Brockport on Saturday. That's it for your sports update. Now let's take it to Sara for the weather.
Now, here is your Northern Chautauqua weather update brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems.
Hey y'all, welcome back to weather because I'm sure you guys missed my voice. Today is so boring as the clouds bring us to 43 degrees. Even though it's so dreary out, a nice joke goes a long way. That being said, how many apples can you grow on a tree? All of them. They all grow on trees. Yeah, it's a funny joke that leads us into tonight with continuous cloud coverage and temperatures dropping to 36. The first day of February is finally tomorrow with a cloudy 42. Y'all, we got limited time to axe out our Valentines, so don't let this gloomy weather stop you, especially later that evening, since we catch spots of snow and rain while it dips into the low 30s. That's it for your 2-day weather. Keep listening, and I'll be back for the rest of your weekend forecast. For now, let's take it to Lee for a local music update.
Oh my God, how'd you get in my head? Grab a seat if you're staying, hope you do, 'cause I've got some things on my mind. Anyway.
The music in Fredonia is back. On February 3rd, Foxhead Record Co. is hosting Jasmine Comet, Meadow Viscuso, Watch Your Step, and Libby Reed are playing at the Creek House. Doors are at 8 p.m. and music is at 9 p.m. Since it's a house show, DM Foxhead Record Co. on Instagram to get the address. Another show is happening at BJ's in downtown Fredonia. Last Call Entertainment is hosting Deluxe, Bone Machine, Garden Closet, and Spooky Visions. Come to BJ's at 51 West Main Street, Fredonia on Thursday, February 8th. Doors are at 9 p.m. and music is at 10 p.m. That's all I have for music news this week. Let's bring it to Josh for national and international news.
Today, the U.S. Department of Education announced a delay for the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA. This delay is important for college students to consider, as the Department of Education says it will not be sending student FAFSA data to schools until the first half of March. This 4 to 6 week delay is problematic, as it prevents colleges from knowing how much financial aid students should receive until they receive that data from the department. One reason for the delay is that the Department of Education is solving a $1.8 billion FAFSA mistake that could have been really damaging, specifically for lower income students. Without the fix, many students would have lost money and been discouraged from attending college. As the government works to remedy the FAFSA mistake, colleges stress that they may not be able to give financial aid to students until April. The Toyota Corolla, a vehicle deemed by many as nigh indestructible, is now under recall. However, this recall specifically affects vehicles made about 20 years ago, regarding a few Toyota models from 2003 to 2005. Last Thursday, Toyota issued a do not drive advisory for certain models using Takata airbags. In the recall, Toyota stated, quote, certain airbags found in the subject vehicles are under an urgent airbag safety recall. Due to the age of the vehicles, if the airbag deploys, a part inside is more likely to explode and shoot sharp metal fragments which could cause serious injury or death to the drivers or passengers. Owners should not drive these vehicles until the free safety recall repair has been conducted, end quote. If you happen to drive one of these older Toyota models, you should contact your local Toyota dealer, which may offer one of several options free of charge, including mobile repair at the vehicle's location or transport to the dealership via towing. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, they claim that about 67 million Takata airbags have been recalled across over a dozen automotive manufacturers. The NHTSA also says that such incidents of exploding Takata airbags has been responsible for over 400 injuries over the years. One of the great American mysteries, Amelia Earhart's plane, may have been discovered in the Pacific Ocean. Deep Sea Vision is a SoCal-based company that uses autonomous underwater vehicles to perform surveys in the ocean. Some of their work includes deep sea mineral mapping, deep sea cable and pipe route surveys, and underwater wreck hunting. A team of 16 people from Deep Sea Vision discovered a plane-shaped object about 100 miles off of Howland Island, which is where Earhart and fellow navigator Fred Noonan were supposed to refuel. The discovery was made using sonar, and it closely resembles the Lockheed Electra aircraft that Amelia Earhart flew on her fateful around-the-world expedition in 1937. The object appears similar to the aircraft in size and tail, and founder of Deep Sea Vision, Tony Romeo, states, quote, all that combined, you'd be hard-pressed to convince me that this is not an airplane and is not Amelia's plane, end quote. That's all for today's national and international news. Let's bring it back to Sara for the rest of our weather.
Hiya, realistically, when was the last time you saw some sunshine? When did the clouds clear away for some sun? Well, I'm here to tell you that it might be soon. A promising comeback for sunny days when Friday has some lighter cloud coverage than usual and remains in the 40s. With some sun, do you think Phil, the groundhog, will see his shadow? That's right, Groundhog's Day is soon approaching and will determine our wintry fate. The sky clears up later into the evening as we drop to the mid-20s. Ah yes, with little to no clouds, Saturday is looking nice, even though it'll be a chilly 42. Still, I will see people walking around with shorts. I'm not hating. I actually have some respect for y'all that do this. Your legs must be made of steel to be comfortable walking around in this weather with shorts. You guys need more credit, especially as temperatures dip into the upper 20s later that night. Sunday, some clouds come back for their weekend trip, but no worries, there'll be more sun than clouds. Aligning with this weekend's trends, expect to be in the low 40s. Bundle up to see the waning crescent, since it will be mostly clear skies with a low of 24. That's it for your weekend forecast. Let's take it right back to Lee.
That'll wrap up for today's edition of News at Noon. Campus News is written by Lee Pye and read by Izzie and Inzinna. Local news for this broadcast is prepared by Lee Pye. Weather is presented by Sara Lodespoto. Sports is presented by Matt Volz. Music is prepared by Lee Pye. National and international news is prepared by Joshua Ribakove. And finally, board operations for this broadcast are performed by Hunter Halterman and Kowalyk. Thanks for tuning in to News at Noon. Join us every Monday and Wednesday at 12 p.m. on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. From all of us at Fredonia Radio Systems, have a wonderful day.